Hello everyone and welcome back to round 11 of our F1 24 My Team Career Mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here for the Austrian Grand Prix. We're back with another sprint weekend, our third of the season. Of course, if you missed out on yesterday's video from Barcelona, I would highly recommend going back and checking out. Of course, we're playing on the new patch inside F1 24, so hopefully actually at Spielberg of all places, things are going to be very, very interesting. We're currently in a bit of a mission to try and save up some cash to make sure that we can renew Ayumu's contract if we want to. And then at the moment, actually, we're in a little bit of a slump with upgrades on the car as well. We are in desperate need of trying to bring more performance to the team. We've got a couple of upgrades that should be on the car before the next race out at Silverstone as well there. But of course, taking a look at the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen leading the way, 44 points clear of Charles Leclerc. But we've got a sprint weekend to get into, so I will see you guys in qualifying.
Hello everyone, welcome to Austria. It is a short track, it is high speed, it is exactly what we enjoy for qualifying.
Well, as we head back out then into qualifying, because I'm so used to doing sprint races in our other series and just generally learning all the rules on this game, can be quite fun. I completely forgot that obviously we only get one set of soft compound tyres for sprint qualifying in this series. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see as to how we get on. Staggeringly though, it is meant to be dry all weekend in this series, which I don't think has ever happened in a sprint so far inside F1 24. So hopefully that's going to be a good omen for us as well. But of course it all kicks off with a good qualifying here on, well, I guess now technically Saturday morning, isn't it? But yeah, obviously we found out obviously in the last update that yeah, we're gonna maybe struggle a bit more to get points now. Alpine looking really, really strong. Austria though is a happy hunting ground for us, and I'm hoping that will continue this weekend. Rounding our way through the final couple of corners, try and keep it dialed in as best as we can. Up towards the line, it is going to be a 105.3. Puts us P4 on the medium tyre. I don't quite know how we've done that. Well, we have dropped down the order then to P9 as we get towards the end of qualifying. Esteban Ocon, though, in that all-new and improved Alpine right behind me. But everyone now heading back out then for their final run here on the soft compounded tyres. So we need to try and find a little bit more time if we possibly can. I mean, you certainly hope we can.
Seconds left in the session.
We barely have through turn one then, so got to be careful with our battery management over the course of this lap. Want to make sure we've got enough charge for right at the end. As we make our way up the hill, or locking at the rears there slightly, somehow we still find an apex. This car's really struggling here on the soft. Maybe the medium tyres was actually the way to go, which would be very, very odd. But at the moment, yeah, we aren't finding anything. Come on, still down as we make our way out in towards the final couple of corners. Still down. We're going to have to absolutely send it through. Down just 2 gears on the entry. Down another one on the exit. We are going to improve, but it's not going to be by much at all. Half a tenth quicker. We stay P9. How was I that good on a set of mediums? Utterly bizarre qualifying then here, but it is Max Verstappen who lines up on the pole ahead of Norris, Leclerc and Russell. 4 cars from 4 different teams making up our top 4 then on the grid. But yeah, P9 for us. We start inside the top half of the field, which I guess we can be quite happy about. Iwasa definitely doesn't, and I'm going to keep double checking it, but yeah, Kick Sauber are over.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Seven rights and just 3 left-handers make up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is flat out, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday and he'll start from pole position. And Lando Norris lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Russell, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Hamilton, Mr. Monaco, Ocon, Stroll, Tsunoda, Gasly, Sainz, Hulkenberg, Albon, Ricciardo, Sargent, Joe, Magnussen, Bottas, and Ayumu Iwasa. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We will soon find out. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes, delighted to say that we're joined today by Anthony Davidson. So, a sprint race today, and that means lights to flag, no stops. And how is that going to affect the driver behind the wheel?
Absolutely. So for today, there's no pit stop, or shouldn't be a pit stop anyway, if things go right, and you can forget about strategy. You're just driving today as fast as you can, make those overtakes if you need to, and that's what a sprint weekend's all about.
Well, here we are then, trackside for the Sprint Grand Prix here in Austria, and I must admit, yeah, starting this one on the mediums, based on qualifying performance, that might be a pretty good choice for us. I certainly don't think the softs will be that comfortable for 12 laps here, but clearly we've got the pace, we've got the confidence on these medium tyres, and long may that continue. Of course, don't really need to worry about strategy. Would love to try and score some points, though, over the course of the 12 laps here today. 5 red lights. It's going to be lights out, and away we go there. As we found out before, starts no longer as easy as they once were, but we haven't lost any as we make our way in towards turn 1. Got the Alpine still of Ocon down the inside, so we're going to be drag racing with him as we make our way up the hill there. Looks like Verstappen has been able to vault free, as here comes Ocon and Lance Stroll up the hill. Oh, just ran into the back of the Frenchman there, who seemed very, very cautious not to try and get around the outside of Lance. Yellow flags out though as we make our way to the top of the hill. I think Iwasa's made up a couple of places as well there, but yeah, not my strongest start in the world then in this series. Just want to try and settle into a good rhythm here. This circuit is where it's got 3 DRS zones back to back. Being in the train and trying to time the moves are going to be critical. Now with the DRS enabled, things are going to get very, very interesting here. Ocon, though, immediately... Has he already lost the DRS? I don't think he quite has. Oh, don't go into the back of Lance Stroll, please. That would be a really stupid error to make early on, especially with how much stick I give him. Crashing into him would be a big no-no. Oh, we got yellow. Someone's breaking down, I think. I think it's a car in front of us. I want to say it's the McLaren. I think that might be Lando Norris already out then of this sprint race. So Lando Norris, McLaren with even more nightmares early on this season. That's going to promote us back into 10th place there and immediately split up the front runners as well. So I think that's Russell, Leclerc and Max Verstappen that are broken free at the front. Everyone else now is going to be stuck in a huge train behind them. Oh, Perez and Oscar Piastri there, and I think even Fernando Alonso having a look down the inside of Lance Stroll. Careful not to make contact with Esteban Ocon at the top of the hill. I think we might just have been able to complete the move, though, although the Aston Martin has got pretty decent straight line speed. Not as much as I was expecting, as, oh, Piastri really getting his elbows out with Sergio Perez here. Is he going to be able to make the move work? He's still got Checo on his inside. The yellow flag's out still. Don't say Perez. Perez has made that move under yellow flags. That's surely a 5-second penalty. I mean, this is the problem you have here at Austria. It's just a slipstream fest between absolutely everybody as Hamilton and Alonso try and line up Oscar Piastri for a move. Ocon sits waiting behind there as a little bit of puff of smoke getting kicked up by someone. So Sergio Perez now might have an opportunity to break away. Are we going to see Lewis try to make the move on the Australian? Nope, he's still trying to get past Fernando Alonso as they're now side by side as they make their way down the hill. Alonso just able to hang it around the outside there as the inside for the very next corner. And this might just start spreading out this group even more as they're still side by side on the exit of the corner. Hamilton's able to hook it up. Brilliant wheel-to-wheel racing between the two most experienced drivers on the grid. Ocon now trying to have a look to get involved as well as they plunge down in towards the penultimate corner. Of course, Ocon, there's contact in the end as we'll try and switch him off the exit of the final turn there. Not really sure how he ended up in this position, but we just about are. So we'll move up then into the final points-paying position. But yeah, of course, as soon as we get a battle between Alonso and Ocon, they collide. Oh, and Alonso's gone right in front of me. The mechanical failures have been certainly turned up. I mean, Alonso's still trying to dive bomb Esteban Ocon at the top of the hill, but now we've got no DRS to Lewis, and a second Mercedes power unit goes up in smoke in the sprint.
Part of the track, no overtaking through the yellow flags.
Hey? Surely that's a penalty. Surely that's a penalty for Esteban Ocon. He's just overtaken me under yellow flags. How on earth is that legal? Right, come on then. I'm certainly not going to let Esteban Ocon get away with it. The FIA might be asleep at the wheel, but I'm certainly not. Down the outside. We'll keep the DRS off him. And hopefully we'll be able to put the power down at the top of the hill there. That Alpine certainly has seen a big pace improvement, as we're still going to try and hook it up the long way around. Are we going to be able to try and get down the outside again? Ocon. Oh, no. Stop turning in on me, Stroll. What is that? Lance Stroll.
You've got front wing damage. Recommend you box for a new one. Box now.
I mean, he can't drive, can he? What on earth is that by the Canadian? I'm happy to put him in a wall there, I don't care. Completely ruins our race. Completely. Dives it up the inside when he can see we're going for a switchback. And then continues to put the foot to the floor when he's, you know, already making contact with us. Sprint race ruined. Esteban Ocon's going to claim the points for it. That is an almighty disappointing end to this race. Starting the final lap then of the Austrian Grand Prix. Weirdly, despite the front wing damage, neither Stroll or myself have decided to pit towards the end of this race. But yeah, I'm so annoyed with that. What a ridiculous sprint race that was. 2 DNFs, 2 mechanical failures. Esteban Ocon just overtaking me under yellow flags. Apparently because he's Esteban Ocon. And then Stroll driving as you would expect Lance Stroll to drive as well. Though I really don't want to let him get away with that. He's even got the DRS on me. Damn it, man. I can't lose to Lance Stroll, surely, in a wheel-to-wheel battle. So trying to look down the outside. Down the hill. Is he even going to spot me there? No. That time round he probably deserved to. Max Verstappen, though, he's going to win the sprint race here from Austria ahead of Charles Leclerc and George Russell in the end. But as we make our way through the final few corners, Ayumu Asa, the lofty heights of P18 for him. Boy, oh boy. Sure he'll be writing home about this one. But that was an absolute stinker. So I think, honestly, what I'm going to do is join you guys straight over in qualifying, ready for the main race. Luckily, this doesn't decide our grid position. While trying to put that sprint race behind us as best as we can. Hopefully we're going to get a better qualifying result underneath us. Ready for the Grand Prix itself. They're riding the curbs out of that final corner. At least this time round we get two chances at it on the soft compounded tyres. So hopefully we can do a bit of a better job than we did in our set of softs from the sprint qualifying earlier on. But I just want to stay away from Lance Stroll and Esteban Ocon for the rest of the weekend, to be completely honest. So let's see if we can out-qualify them. Half a second up on Zhou Guanyu by the time we reach the end of Sector 2. This is so far felt like a pretty tidy lap. Austria is one of those weird circuits. Unless you're absolutely on it, I never really know how well we're actually getting on around this circuit. So I'm way too hesitant through the final corner, up towards the line. It is going to still be a 5-3, but slower than Magnussen. And of course, I say I want to be quicker than Ocon and Stroll, and those are exactly the 2 cars I've ended up in front of. Well, luckily, Yuki Tsunoda then has been used as a bit of a peacemaker, getting between myself and Esteban there as we go out for our final run here in qualifying. Want to try and boost ourselves a little bit further up the order if we possibly can. But yeah, everyone, of course, now a little bit more up to speed.
Down to P12.
Little mistake there through turn 1, but we were able to carry more speed into the apex, so that's not the end of the world. Purple through that first sector, apparently, so definitely able to carry that extra apex speed. And luckily we get the throttle down at the top of the hill as well. I mean, it's so tight around this circuit that it really is like a tenth or two can be the difference. You know, like 5 or 6 places around this circuit in the midfield, especially with how close everyone is. Little nudge there of the gravel trap as we try and make our way in towards the final sector. Are a tenth up still, but it's getting scrappy. Tyres as well starting to give up as we try and carry the speed down in towards the final couple of turns of the lap. We're down to P14, so other drivers are improving. Ocon goes straight back in behind me as well, so desperate to continue our feud from the sprint, but out of the final corner, 3.5 tenths up. Goodbye, Esteban Ocon. It is P8 on the grid. There we go, Verstappen takes the pole, and we were so close to going sub 1 minute 5 there, but unable to achieve it. come the end of qualifying. Quicker than Sainz and George Russell, though, so very, very happy with that. Stroll will line up 12th, Ocon down in 15th place, so happy to see it. But yeah, Yuma Oasa, he is not gelling with this track.
It's race day in Spielberg for this year's Austrian Grand Prix. We are just a few moments away from lights out and our drivers thinking about navigating the Niki Lauda curve as it was renamed in 2019 in memory of one of Formula One's most beloved figures. 700 metres above sea level, 10 corners and one of the shortest laps of the season. 2.6 miles with some good overtaking opportunities, but you've got to get the braking right into turn 1 and turn 3. The race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Hamilton, Mr. Monaco, Sainz, Russell, Gasly, Stroll, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Ocon, Albon, Tsunoda, Bottas, Hulkenberg, Joe, Sargent, Iwasa, Fernando Alonso, and Lando Norris starts from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And we welcome you to the commentary box overlooking the circuit. I'm Alex Jakes, and I'm joined by Anthony Davidson. Things seem comfortable, they seem stable right now, that's a positive, but do they need to be pushed to the next level? Now, those final hours before a race, did you have a routine?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Oh, because of Fernando Alonso and Lando Norris's grid penalties, we found ourselves bumped up to P6 then on the grid here. I believe that's my best ever qualifying position inside this series. Although now saying that out loud, I feel like I did pretty well somewhere at some point. It's quite difficult to keep track of. I do a lot of F1 racing inside this game at the moment. But yeah, a one-stop strategy, mediums over to hards later on is going to be our plan of attack here today. As we wait on the grid, though, for the 5 red lights. It's a Red Bull front row lockout. And it is going to be lights out, and away we go. The Hamilton going off like a scalded cat down in towards turn 1 as Carlos Sainz trying to do the same thing. We're going to get a little bit pinched in the middle there, as of course we have contact with Alpine. This time around, though, it is Pierre Gasly, so I'll make sure I give him some room on the exit of the first corner there. But losing the one spot then to Carlos Sainz at the first corner. Oscar Piastri now trying to defend. Oh, we're just going to get a little bit boxed in, as I think Gasly there and George Russell want to try and make the move happen. So it seems no matter whatever I do on this game, lap 1 here in Spielberg cannot go our way. There is even more wheel banging with the Frenchman as we plunge down the hill in through turn 4, though. Hopefully now we've got the inside line, but it's going to move back to the outside again.
Start was fine. Let's try and move forward.
I'm not sure we're going to be able to move much forward, Marcus. That is not where I wanted to be. And I've completely gone across. Of course it's Stroll. Of course it's Lance Stroll. What can we do to avoid that driver this weekend? As surely he's going to have to peel into the pit lane. Yes, he is. And he's going to get right in the middle of the road there as well. I think even more carnage.
He's incurred some slight damage, but nothing too serious at the moment. Just be careful.
Yeah, luckily that damage shouldn't be too debilitating for us, as we have survived-ish lap 1. I guess that's payback for Lance Stroll. Let me know down in the comments below. Oh, we got yellow flags. I think one of the Red Bulls has gone. Sergio Perez in the gravel trap. No idea what's happened to him. Surely that's got to be a safety car if he's just going to sit there on the exit of the corner. Red flag.
Red flag.
Okay.
We'll update you in the pits. Everyone's okay.
Well, no idea what happened to Sergio.
Officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now.
Red flag then, because of Sergio Perez just decided he wanted to stop in the middle of the road.
We Get a nice advantage here. Let's have a think about how we handle the rest of this race.
Deary me, we've got to try and go to the end on one set of hard compound tyres. That is not going to be very fun at all. A little bit like Monaco a couple of rounds ago, but I guess that's what we've got to do.
To this restart, let's go.
5 red lights once again, and it is going to be lights out, and away we go then. No one able to put the power down on their hard compound tyres, but Hulkenberg doing a better job of, a worse job of it than most. Round the outside of absolutely everybody I can down at turn 1. There's Gasly and Ocon there side by side, just up in front there. That's been a lifesaver for Lance Stroll. There's 3 wide. Goes Gasly, Ocon, and George Russell. Down the inside of myself is going to go Daniel Ricciardo, so we'll try and make it 3 wide with the V-Carps. Are we going to be able to make this work there and back up into the points of the race? I think we might just about there. There's still more contact going on. As Ricciardo, I think, really wanted to try and squeeze his teammate on the exit. And again, the Australian trying to look down the inside there. But I think for the first time ever in F1 24 here at Austria, we've actually made places off of a start or a restart. Don't run into the gravel like we did last time. This time around, we'll just about avoid it there on the heavy fuel. But 30 laps on a set of the hard tyres. That's going to be really, really difficult actually around this venue today. Not that I don't think the tyres can do it, just managing the pace is going to be awful. Here we go, down the inside of Magnussen. I didn't plan on going down the inside of Russell. We just about get it slowed up. That was a little bit sketchy at the top of the hill. But we'll make it through once again then. So into P9 and Alpine. They did score their first points of the year in that sprint. So we might see them get a big haul if they can try and convert this race as well. I think their performance has been made a little bit too OP. Oh, what is going on up the road? I think Oscar Piastri, Charles Leclerc trying to put on a bit of a show as we're just really trying to settle in.
Second of the car ahead, get ready to use DRS for the overtake.
We've had a lot of frustration early on as, there we go, that's Pierre Gasly making a bit of a lock-up and a hash of turn 1. He is going to get back on the road. No, yeah, he's going to get back on the road though, only losing the place to Kevin Magnussen behind me. Yeah, the AI now definitely seems to do more mistakes, which is good. But so do I, annoyingly. No idea what's going on behind me, but they've already gone and lost 2 seconds in the space of a lap. Gasly moving his way back through. Magnussen, I think, now has made a mistake as well. So no one seems to be able to navigate their way around this circuit. I'd be intrigued, though, if any of the AI do opt to pit before the end of this one. Because, of course, we saw in Monaco the strategy did end up getting quite split. But to be honest, I'm happy just to sit here in 8th place at the moment, taking the DRS. Because maybe with the exception of Ocon, I don't think I'm quicker than anybody in front. I'm just watching these gaggle of cars in front of me getting more and more aggressive with each other. This time... Oh! Hello, George Russell. Just absolutely sat there on the apex, and I was lucky not to lose my front wing. We've not driven particularly well so far this afternoon. So I'm hoping that we don't end up losing any of our wing. Have we still got the underfloor damage out of interest? Yes, we do. Yeah, I was going to say, they shouldn't be able to fix that under a safety car. We've got someone with yellow flags. We've got cars battling in front. I've noticed the AI do that a lot. The final corner, they'll occasionally just kind of run deep on the way in. So here we go. Ferrari 3 wide with Lewis Hamilton. The man, of course, is going to be driving one of their cars next year as Carlos Sainz there rudely slams the door. I've got to start trying to get our way through Russell there. I just feel like I'm going to lose my front wing on him. I mean, yeah, this is definitely still something that needs fixing. I mean, Austria's always been a bit bad for it, but the way the AI goes side by side every single lap is, you know, why we still have all these problems with the trains in this game. As someone's locked up, that time around it's Carlos Sainz. Russell, I don't know what his plan was there, but he's pulled it off and made the double overtake. As Oscar Piastri almost... I mean, how did George not lose front wing there? That's what I want to know. Can we have a look down the inside of the Merc? Yes, we will. No contact that time. Don't drop it on the exit, please. Russell, keep the place. Well, I really do wonder if Verstappen ever gets bored just dominating races over and over. Pretty much feels as soon as we felt there was actually a championship fight in this series, Verstappen's gone, actually I'm alright. I fancy winning a fourth world title. But yeah, you can see, I mean, Ferrari every single lap are just side by side at the top of the hill. They Constantine are up horrendously, so we end up back all over the gearbox of Russell again. You know, Austria was always fun on the older F1 games because it was the one race that was chaos. On this year's game, every race is chaos, as Sainz now has done a Sergio Perez. Are we going to see another red flag? It's very, very odd the way they do that. It's almost like they've copied it over from last year's game, but haven't quite worked out how to do it properly. There's Sainz still parked there on the outside of the circuit. Is he going to get going again? So they're really letting all the AI past him, so I guess we're up one extra spot. He doesn't let a Yumu by, though. Of course not. But at least this time round... Oh, hello. There's an Apex through there. At least this time round, we don't see another restart. But we got yellows. Sergio Perez, his weekend gets from bad to worse. As you can see, Hamilton and Leclerc contact is made between the Ferrari and the Merc. There's just chaos everywhere. It's so stupid. I think, yeah, track like Austria has actually been made even more extreme. What is this? They're almost 4 wide there as they go up the hill. Perez somehow isn't out of the Grand Prix, so I think that might just have been a rogue puncture for him. As one Red Bull leads this one, the other one is in last place. As are we going to see Piastri try and get the run on George Russell? No, not quite. Got a good run this time round, have we? The AI seem to have very good traction off of this first corner. As can we try and get a run on Oscar Piastri up the hill? Well, I didn't actually want to try and go to the inside of him there as Piastri locks up, panicking. I try and go around his outside at the top of the hill, which we just about will. He hasn't lost any front wing, but yeah, we're in the battle for the podium, so I'm going to start getting my elbows out. Look at that. Leclerc and Hamilton, despite the fact they're going to be teammates next year, certainly have no qualms in battling very, very aggressively at this stage of the afternoon, as we're going to try and make the triple overtake then. Hamilton's going to force me defensive and clearly not spot me on his inside. Did I have enough space to warrant the room? I don't know. Are we not going to gain any places and probably lose one to a McLaren? Yes, we are. And because of that, 3 wide in front. Russell, oh, there's plenty of contact between the two Mercs. Charles Leclerc, I think quite rightly, decides to back out of it, but it's not going to give up. Going to try and again have a look back round to the outside of Lewis Hamilton. It seems to be a bit odd with the AI. They never get front wing damage when they're battling each other like that, which is a little bit peculiar, but they're putting on a show, it must be said. Oh, here we go. Hamilton and Russell again, side by side down at turn 1. Surely at some point this has got to end badly for someone, but still it hasn't so far today. We're going to try and get the run through 1, 2, and maybe 3. Hopefully Hamilton actually spots me this time round at the top of the hill. Did not want to use first gear there, but we get a good launch on the exit. We keep the DRS as well from the Mercedes. Is he potentially going to be vulnerable to an attack from his teammate behind? No, he's not. Basically, all we're hoping we can do is just get past and then get out the DRS range. Not holding my breath. Oh, there goes Hamilton, sorry, even down the inside of turn 1. This time around, though, he's going to get the DRS on the exit. But why don't they use their battery? It's almost genuinely like the AI here just want to go side by side as much as they can. Going to try and keep that trend up, though, around the outside of Lewis at the top of the hill. This time around, we will have the DRS on the exit, but using way too much battery at the moment. Down to just 7% charge here, as here comes Russell down around the outside of Lewis as well. I'll try and pinch him now. I just want to leave him side by side. That's the only chance we've got of trying to break free from these cars. As Verstappen, bearing in mind we've only been green flag running again for I think 22 laps, has a 25-second lead. Oh, George Russell's done something. No idea what. I think he might have just understeered through the final corner, and now we have got a 1.2-second lead over Hamilton. Surely this is the buffer we need just to try and hang on towards the end of the race. I need Piastri to fight him. We've got more yellows out, so I don't know how many times we've had yellow flags here, but I feel like the AI now make too many mistakes. So EA, if you can find a balance, that'd be grand, but we've got a chance to run, so I'm going to try and take it. Yellows, I think Esteban Ocon's retiring. Esteban Ocon, the 2nd race in a row that the Frenchman is going to be out of. I cannot believe the amount of bad luck he's having so far this season, as my Operation Runaway has not worked out there. Hamilton, I'm basically going to hand it to him at the top of the hill, but Esteban Ocon, his 2nd mechanical failure in a row. Welcome to Renault Power, ladies and gentlemen. It is still as good as it has ever been inside F1 24. Kind of makes me feel a little bit stupid for choosing it. Our tyres starting to fall off now, so even if we stay in Hamilton's range, I'm not sure we're going to be able to get the run on him. So I'd rather do it sooner rather than later. Basically try and control his pace as best as we can. But yeah, Verstappen now with a 30-second lead. Oh, Lewis turned in. Rosberg and Hamilton 2016 version 2 there. Hamilton, we have to give him the run on the exit. I think we're 3 wide. Where's Piastri come from? On the exit of the corner as well. We're still 3 wide as we make our way down the hill. I think... Oh, and I've been turned around again.
Okay, be very careful. The floor's incurred massive damage.
As if that's happened twice this weekend. As if. Charles Leclerc that time around getting him way too hot. And, well, there goes our podium hopes and dreams.
Car in front, 4.0 seconds.
Cannot believe that. I cannot believe that's happened twice during this Grand Prix weekend. That is so stupid. Austria inside F1 24 has got to be one of the dumbest experiences of my life. There goes Russell down the inside at turn 1. I mean, luckily this time we didn't pick up any front wing damage. I think Charles Leclerc, though, definitely did, on the other hand. So I think we've got to try and stick with George and hope that Yuki and Charles can't get to me. No, you know what? We'll fight it still. Why not, eh? As Russell in like a torpedo at the top of the hill. Try and switch him off the top. Come on, put the power down. Sure, we can try and get the run still to the outside. We'll go. Well, hang on. Russell I've spotted as well in my rearview mirror. I think he's missing an end plate on that front wing. So surely we're not going to lose to a Merc with half a front wing here. He's made the move happen again as Verstappen onto his final lap of the GP. Perez, I tell you what, pitting actually wasn't a bad strategy in the end. Admittedly, he didn't really want to, but in terms of raw time, he's actually done very, very well to recover pretty much as well as he has. Charles Leclerc looks to be trying to hold up an almighty train into the final lap of the Grand Prix, but this entire sprint weekend has just been chaos, to be honest. Austria doesn't work inside F1 24, which, like I said, is a shame.
Final lap of the race, final lap.
This circuit was always one that would provide you with brilliant battles, but inside this year's game, it's just carnage. It's cars trading paint, locking up every other lap, taking you out just because they want to try and use the whole circuit even though you're there, and just
5.3 seconds.
an absolute slipstream fest. As once again, we're going to have to try and switch George up the top of the hill. Yeah, that sums it up, doesn't it? Lucky we didn't turn him across our nose there. Quite rightly, I think we get a warning for that collision. But are we going to see Russell struggle? I think our ties have gone as Max Verstappen, despite everything going on behind him, has absolutely walked this Grand Prix. Once again, the Dutchman back on top and will further extend his title lead over Charles Leclerc in a big, big way. Somehow Russell with half a front wing is still quicker than me through the corners, although this thing certainly hasn't got much stability underneath it towards the end of the race there. Piastri will come through for P2. Mercedes in 3rd and 4th, but with everything that's happened, the fact we've scored 10 points here, I think is nothing short of a miracle. What a bizarre weekend.
That's it then for another spectacular Grand Prix here in Austria and a truly magnificent drive to hang on and take the win.
And 3 wins in a row now, of course, thrown the gauntlet down. The drivers are out there now. They realise that they are the target. They're the ones to beat. They've got the energy, they've got the momentum on their side.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They've performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team.
Well, there we go. After all the carnage, all the chaos, Max Verstappen, he still got 33 points at the end of the weekend, didn't he? Because he's Max Verstappen at the end of the day. They're an utterly dominant weekend by the Dutchman, and I'm sure he will look back very, very happily indeed. They're yet another win here in the Styrian Mountains. Oscar Piastri, though, 33 seconds back. Bearing in mind, obviously, we had a red flag, so we restarted the race on lap 5, so he pulled out 33 seconds. in 32 laps, despite not having a faster lap than anybody else inside the top 4 there. Goes to show what you can do when you're not trapped in chaos right the way throughout a Grand Prix there. Gasly gets a load more points, though, for Alpine, beating out Charles Leclerc there. With Alpine, VCarb have got a double points finish there. Alonso and Lando Norris from the back of the field end up in 10th and 11th place as well. So clearly, the AI now can make overtakes. Unfortunately, Ayumu Iwasa are the only driver to end up a lap down. But we did survive. I was worried that we would get a penalty in the end, but apparently not. So yeah, Verstappen's lead at the top opens up to 64 points. Oscar Piastri extends his margin over myself there, but we now cross over the 50-point barrier. So pretty happy with that as well. And constructors-wise, 57 the lead for Ferrari is just 3 points between Ferrari and Mercedes as well. Sorry, a 57-point lead for Red Bull over Ferrari as well there. But Alpine with some big points. VCarb as well, that's their first points of the year. So it means every single team now has scored in this series as well. But thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon. In fact, we won't be back tomorrow though, because I'm going to take the day off because it's the Canadian Grand Prix. So we'll be back Monday out in Silverstone.